folks, my name is Brad. Welcome to another Green Mountain vlog. If you happen to be new to these, between the months of November and May, I post these videos, which are typically just adventures with my friends and family and things that I'm up to down here in the workshop, simply because, you know, in the wintertime in Vermont, it's pretty hard to go out metal detecting. But spring is here, and in today's vlog, my boy and I was able to find a small patch of forest where there wasn't too much snow, and we went on a little adventure, which was actually more of a mission to find something. Hopefully you enjoy that. And also I had some leather orders come in for some of my artifact spray bottles that I offer on my website. I don't think I've ever shared the process of how I make those, so I filmed that process as well. Next week, I have a standard metal detecting video up in the mountains, finding cool old stuff that I was able to film back in February during our big thaw that we had. Hopefully within the next couple weeks, all of the snow up in the mountains will be gone and I'll be able to get back out weekly again and find some cool old stuff. Hopefully you enjoy today's vlog, and hopefully I'll see you next week. So I'm just walking into my live room here. This is actually my recording studio. You can see all my guitars there, but I also have all my leather. You can see actually a display case as I walk by as well. So I'm just laying out some brown leather here, and I have a pattern already made for the bottles. And I'm just drawing it out with a pencil, and then I will cut it out roughly, and then go back with a straight edge and a razor blade and cut them out perfectly to size. Now I need to cut out these half-inch strips that serve as like a little handle on the bottles. They're purely for aesthetic reasons. Just make it look a little bit nicer. And here I'm rounding off the ends. And then next I will use the hole punch to make a space for the rivets, which is how they will then attach to the bottle itself. Here I'm going back to the larger piece of leather which wraps around the bottle, and I need to measure out and punch the holes for the rivets for this piece. This is my card catalog, which I bought from the local library. They went over to digital, and I have a bunch of stuff in that, but my leather supplies are in there. These are my stitching irons, which allow my stitch holes to be nice and perfectly spaced. And then I'm going back for my tool, which sets how far away from an edge a stitch line is, and it draws a perfect straight stitch line for me to use my stitching irons on. A little pressure and it leaves an indent, which I can then come back with my irons and punch the holes through. So now these are basically ready to be put on the bottles, except for the logo. And for that, I'm going to be using a stamp, but they need to be wet first. So I run upstairs, put them under the faucet for just a second, get them nice and wet. And again, I'm walking past some of my metal detecting things here, real quick glance at them. I'm moving to my arbor press, and I have a stamp that I had made which has my logo on it. Center it and use the press to put it into the wet leather, which it'll hold its shape once it's dry. Happened to be a nice sunny day. It was very cold, but the sun will dry those out after a couple hours. So here we are again, nice and dry. I'm going to put on some Resolene, which is a product that I believe it's like a latex product, which basically seals and protects the leather, waterproofs it. Doing it to all the pieces, front and back. This needs to dry for a little while and then it's ready to assemble. So here I have some rivets, which I used to hammer on, but I've rigged up a system on the arbor press now, which works much better, much cleaner. And these are ready to be stitched. So to hold this bottle, this is for rings, size rings, but it happens to just fit nicely into that bottle and it holds it nice and tight. And I wrapped some two-sided tape around this just so that it kind of stays in place while I stitch it. The stitching and the leather shrinking a little bit keeps it on the bottle itself. But for the stitching process, the tape is super helpful. And you can see I actually put in another string there, another loop of thread, and that's for the finishing process, which you'll see in a minute here. So basically this is all just hand saddle stitched, 2 needles, you can see too that this thread is very waxed and we're getting balls of wax at the holes there, which I'll address in a second as well. So I cut this off a little short, and that looped thread that I stuck in earlier helps me pull those tails inside, and now I'm melting the wax to make it a little bit more finished there. That one's done. So I have 2 customers' bottles to do, a brown bottle and a green bottle. So here we are moving over to the green one. You can see that double-sided tape in there. And this customer wanted white thread. Again, we pull the ends down inside, and they're not going anywhere. And that's it. 2 spray bottles ready to be packaged up, shipped off to customers. River's pretty high, huh? What? All the rain that we've had and the snow is melting. A lot of water in the streams right now. Still snow up there. Well, hey folks, moving into springtime. We're outside again, going on adventures. And today, my boy Bentley and I, we are on a mission, not just a normal adventure. What'd you find? A stash of acorns.
Yeah, there's only...
Just the hats.
Yeah.
Well, today we're not looking for acorn hats. We're looking for a brick for a collector. I posted a photo of a brick that I found at this particular place we're hiking to on the Facebook page, and a friend of mine said, hey, I'd like one of those. He's a brick collector. I didn't know people collected bricks, but there's a whole community of people who collect bricks. And he was interested in one of these, so we're taking the hike to get him one. So this is our first time out this spring on a hike, on an adventure. This is the first time I've actually felt well in about a month. After I got COVID about a month ago, it turned into a sinus infection, ear infection. Finally feeling well enough to do some hiking. Thank goodness. And what a first hike to go on. Holy smokes. Halfway there. We're at the top. Oh, I almost fell right on my face. Made it to the top. If I remember right, the old bricks are that way somewhere. Yep, we're going off trail.
Tell you about this tree?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I feel like there's a tree right here.
So, so do you think somebody made it like that?
I think it grew like this.
It just grew that way?
Science me and put me here.
You got it. Bentley, I just went to put the camera down and look at this right here.
Look! Is that a dead mole?
It is a dead mole. Just laying out here.
What happened to it?
I don't know, but there's some poop right here too. It's like coyote poop, maybe?
Coyote poop, that means the coyote got it.
Or maybe a fox. But they didn't want to eat it for some reason.
I think they bit it and they were like, yuck, so they ran away.
I like that idea.
But they pooped on it.
All right, let's get you up on this tree. Hang on to the tree. And take a picture for Mama.
Behind you, to the stone wall.
Another stone wall?
Get me down.
Think I was gonna leave you up here? I see the bricks up here. Right, straight ahead. Straight through.
Oh! Whoa! I think this was an old house.
So the best I was able to figure out, I suspect this was an old Boy Scout camping area. There's no structures, but there is this big fireplace that has tipped over, and it was created both with field stones as well as fire bricks. And these fire bricks are the ones we're after. We just want one though. See, this one almost is nice if it wasn't broken. You can see there's writing on it. We want to find a whole one that's got nice crisp letters. All right, well here's one on the ground.
I see full ones.
You see full ones?
Yeah.
All right, this one's broken.
Over here. See?
Uh-huh.
They're full.
There's no writing on them though. See, these are old ones. See how they have a scoop?
Yeah.
Try not to take this thing apart as much as you can, okay, kiddo?
But look how much I'm fixing it.
You want to leave it. You want to leave it the way it was as much as we can. We just want one brick. Seems like most of the fire bricks were down here in the firebox, which I guess makes sense. Ooh, that was not bad. PSW Co. Portland. That's Portland, Maine. It's a little bit chipped up though. Maybe we can find a better one. So I'm just trying to find ones on the ground so we don't disassemble this historic fireplace. And I found a different variety here. ST. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah. Standard. I guess that's not a name brand, is it? All right. Search continues. So I just flipped a rock over looking for bricks, and we found it's a yellow spotted salamander. I've actually never seen one of these in real life before. They're very common in our area, but they're only out a certain time of year. All right, we're gonna put them somewhere safe under a rock.
Put that rock back on.
Well, I don't want to squish them. I would do that, but I would be afraid I'd squish them. So we're gonna put them under
Put him in that crack right there.
down in the crack. Good idea. All right, well, just kind of laying around the edges, kicking over leaves, we found 4 candidates. This one I thought was interesting because there's like something melted on there, a glass of some kind. These are fire bricks, but the edges are all chipped. This one I think is the best, but it has some stuff on the face of it, and it has a crack. Ah, man, it's hard, tough decision. I think I'm gonna give him this one. Hopefully it doesn't break in my backpack on the way home, but before we leave, maybe I'll kick around some more leaves, see if we can find some more, but this is the best candidate for now. Well, the mission was a success. We found the chimney, which I wasn't sure we were going to be able to do. We found a brick, complete, not too chipped. Hopefully you'll like it. We also found a spotted salamander, a dead mole, a collection of acorn caps. Now to get home. Down the mountain. Easier than up, hopefully.